All right. Hmm. Let's get started this morning. Let's get started this morning. So, we are going over Jeremiah 3 today, okay? And we are doing this in parts because I don't want to take too much of your time, but I want you to get this in because we're going to be speaking a little wisdom this morning from all this stuff that's in the book of every page of wisdom. Because again, wisdom was given to us. Wisdom was given to us. So we have the correct wisdom. It's just some people prefer not to read it, right? Okay. So they're into the worldly wisdom and what people say to them about wisdom. So that's how you distinguish the wisdom of a person is that number one, are they speaking the wisdom of God? Meaning, did they go to the Bible? Did they read it? What is their interpretation of the Bible? Okay. Because sometimes people have read it, but have gone astray and they refuse to read it. So I just want to come on here and I want to read Jeremiah 3 to you. And let me put it up here. Jeremiah. I hope I'm spelling this right. Jeremiah. I know that's not it. Hmm. So I'm going to go over Jeremiah 3, and I'm not going to be on there long with you. I'm just going to do this in parts. But this is Jeremiah 3 because I want you to take heed to the wisdom in which God is trying to give to you. And then I want you to go for about 5 or 10 minutes and have a moment with the Lord of silence and let the Lord work with you. Hold on just a second. So uh I want to say something really quick. Hold on. I know I'm taking up most of your time. Hold on just a second. It's somewhere in here. Hmm. Wow, I just have no clue. I know it's not that far back in the book. Oh, I gotta hurry up. Come on now. Come on. Where are you? Am I not looking right? Maybe too far. Anyway, let me get started on reading this Bible because we're gonna be a little while, but not that long. We're not gonna be that long. I just wanna do this in parts, and it's okay if I do it in parts. Okay. Although I know this is supposed to be all professional and all that. No, I'm just trying to get the gospel out and give you this word today. So all that fancy stuff, I'm not doing that today. Or at all right now. I have to get this word out via YouTube, okay? Huh? What happened? Uh-oh. Oh, spent a little while. Anyway, welcome to the Freedom from the Night as we get off into uh, the supernatural, which I talk about a lot of things are that you can't see, and I get off into some things that you can see through those things you can't see because it's not that it's the things you see, it's the things you can't see that are right there and bothering you and causing you to do the things that you do. Okay. So I invite viewers to share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more content. I also encourage likes, shares, and subscribing. Okay. To subscribe to this channel. I encourage you to do that. All right. So let me get off into Jeremiah 3. Jeremiah 3 says that, and you can turn to your Bible to Jeremiah 3. So I'm gonna get right on into this word, this information, not from my own word, but from the word of God, okay? The Bible, the book, the scriptures, okay? So it says in Jeremiah 3, it says, they say, if a man put away his wife, they say if a man put away his wife, meaning rid himself of her. I mean, put away could mean anything, because interpretation is what God gives to us. Opinions and facts is what the world gives to us. But interpretations is what God gives to us because when you build a relationship with God, you find interpretations of a lot of things. And some people build their stuff off of facts and opinions. And so they say that make it good enough so we can argue about it. So we got an argumentative world over these worldly things. And then they trying to bring those worldly things to the biblical things, right? And it don't work like that. We're not to go to each other and argue about biblical things. We are just to spread this gospel. And you might not listen to us, but we're here to spread the gospel. If you don't want to listen, keep it moving. But overall, we're here to spread the gospel. And if the situation may be when you in a relationship with God, it becomes interpretation. That's what it becomes. It becomes interpretation because you got to interpret between good and evil, meaning discern over time between good and evil. So to put away his wife, that means that he could be putting away with her in his mind or putting away with her on his body or walking away from her altogether. Like just not or just turning his face away from her, to walk in vanity and to keep walking in vain. Okay. Putting away could mean, if you interpret it, it could mean a variety of things pertaining to this man against his wife. Okay. So they say if a man put away his wife, meaning against his wife, and she go from him, meaning meaning that this took place with the husband first. And then the wife, she went away, meaning that the husband was against the wife, meaning he could have been shouting at her, he could have been yelling at her, he could have been frustrated at her. If he is putting his wife away, as we interpret this stuff, if he putting his wife away, he could have been yelling, shouting, screaming, just turned away from her, ain't want to listen to her, just didn't want to guide her, didn't want to protect her, didn't want to uh, supply her with the things she needed of God. He didn't want to give her God. He didn't want to nurture her. Nurturing is the main thing. He didn't want to nurture her, meaning the position she's in, she is not ready, really ready, you know, just as well as you're not ready. But as you supply into her, then you get ready. Again, as you prophesy, meaning supply, as you prophesy into her, you become ready. You become automatically ready when you supply into her. So it starts with the man first. Although the blame is placed at the woman, it starts with the man first. Okay? Originally, it starts with the man first. For some cases, the women, it's not starting with you, but it's going to take the women to place the gospel before the man, to pray for the man sometimes. Okay? But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the fact that they say if a man put away his wife and she go from him, meaning that y'all could have gotten an argument, she walked away, and you just didn't handle it correctly. You didn't do what it was that you were supposed to do for your wife to not to walk away and do something that she ought not to do. Something you didn't do. Something that you didn't say. And I'm not even saying worry about it. It was something in the way that you said it. It was something in the way that you did it. You didn't guide her. Okay. I'm not saying worry about these things. I'm saying to the direct things. And that is you didn't guide her. You didn't protect her. You didn't give her the comfort that she needs. You didn't, meaning that you didn't prophesy to her. You argue with her. You misplaced her on a different land than the holy land that's of God. You gave her words of frustration. You gave her words of bitterness from your heart because you're hurting. And that's how you deal with hurt. You gave her these things, and yet you're expecting something different from her. No, it says that, and she go from him. Once this thing happens, you can't expect your wife, even those who have a problem with the word wife, if you're in a relationship with somebody, this is going to be a mass manipulation of the same thing. Because first of all, this is your girlfriend and you in the wrong relationship. This is supposed to be your wife that you're talking to, that you're sleeping with. But that also is a representation of you put away your wife as well. See, you can put away your wife by girlfriending her or also friend zoning your woman just so nobody else can be with her and you can be the only one with her. Yeah, you putting away from your wife, interpreting this. It's not political and you can't take it literal because it can go for anything that the devil that's coming towards you can put it as. They know the law and they hide in it in the ways that they hide in it. The devil does, oppression does, lunatic spirit does, the palsy spirit does. These are the main spirits that turns into other things in your life. So they know where to hide. They know where to go. They know what to do. So they say if a man put away his wife, meaning that either you don't want to put her as your wife, you don't want her as your wife, you want her as your girlfriend, because that's what you learned from your fathers, your forefathers, and on and on and on. You learned this stuff from them. I'm not saying that your forefathers should not be looked at. We should look at what our forefathers have done, but learning from them is what we should be looking at. As we're looking at our forefathers, we should learn from God what it is that our forefathers have done for many years, and they did not do what is right. They passed on bad laws, bad things that has caused a many of children and your children's children's and on till you in this generation now. So I'm not saying that we are not to look at what our forefathers have done and the mistakes that they made. I'm not saying that. But when it comes to our forefathers, we're not here to worship them and we cannot learn from them. They made mistakes. We are here to learn from God. We are here to grow from God. We are here to take our things from God. You understand what I'm saying? Not our forefathers. So I'm not disregarding our forefathers. What I'm saying is that they passed on some things that was not of God. They went in their own law and they did things from that law, which caused a many of generations to be into frustration and to be into vanity against God. So putting away the wife is to do with something in that manner too. Our forefathers have been putting away the wife for decades, centuries, years, months, days, weeks. Again, up into you. Our our forefathers have been doing a lot of things that has been putting away the wife for years to do whatever it is that they wanted to do and to put into law what they wanted to put into law for years now. They've been doing this for years. And all we've been doing is learning from them and their strange laws that was against God for many years now. And it's time to stop looking on at your forefathers, to learn from them, and to return back to God. That's what time it is. So if you interpret a thing, you'll understand that your interpretation of a thing is many things, as long as the devil can play in certain areas that you cannot see them play in. So they say if a man put away his wife and go from her, and she go from him and become another man's, and become another man's. Now, as we interpret that, become another man's mean it doesn't mean that she is, I mean, it does mean a variety of things. Interpretation means a variety of things. Discernment can come into anything that's interpreted. Okay? So, and she becomes another man's, meaning that she's sad about you and her. She going through a lot of hurt and pain because of what you done, and she's feeling miserable. Now she's on a whole nother land that's unholy. She's no longer in a holy land because of the misguidedness, because of the foolishness, and because of the blindness of you, the blindliness of you. Now your wife is put away, and uh, she goes from you, and now she's up for grabs from anybody. Anybody could actually come to her. If we interpret that, that means that's telling you as a man that your woman can be up for grabs from anybody because she is gone. Going off, interpret this. She is going off into somewhere else in her mind, in her heart. She has been put away and she is going off to some other world, to some other place on another side, the place in which she can't even see for. She was misguided because of your wrongdoing. So now she's in a whole nother place on the other side that you cannot see that she's in. She's not in a holy place because as you are over this woman, you are now a preacher and a prophet. And you are to prophesy to your woman. You are to prophet. You are to preach to your woman because you're a priest now. You become these things in the position and the levels of Jesus as you come into as you come into knowing God. You become these things. You become these characters that are real, not the characters that are fake in the world in which the world feeds you on to become dead people. Oh, your daddy was like this. So you're going to be like your daddy. So now you become that dead person. Even if that person's still alive, the characters of your daddy is dead. Oh, you acting just as feminine as your mama. And so you become your mama. So now you put on these clothes like your mama, you dress like your mama, you put makeup on like your mama. You become a woman and you a man like your mama because somebody said you act like your mama. You're feminine like your mama. So now you become these characters and now you put on a dead person's body. Because even though she's alive, you putting on her characters. That's a dead person's body. Instead, you didn't put on the body of Jesus Christ. You put on a whole dead person's character. And now you walking in this dead person's characteristics, thinking that it's okay to be walking like this. Oh, I'm fine. I'm okay to be having a dress on. I'm a man. I'm okay to be having some certain type of look with pants on as a woman. I'm okay. I'm not saying that you can't wear pants as a woman, but what I'm saying is it's just the way that you're wearing it. It's showing your butt and got belts around it to hold it up, and your drawers are showing like a man. Because somebody said you act just like your daddy, you look just like your daddy. So you building characteristics on of a dead man, even though he may still be alive. So instead, people want to put on characteristics of dead people versus putting on characteristics in what God has said. It's levels in being of Christ. And putting on those characters is life in it. God gives you life. He edifies you into characters that's life living. And to live up to that, that is the interpretation of the story. So she became another's man, meaning that you, let me let you look at this in the spirit realm. You are no longer two becoming one now because you done made yourself mad at her. You done made yourself angry at her. You done basically put her away as your wife. So now in the spirit realm, she just she just walking all alone with no one to cover her. It's not the two that God speaks about. He said, two is not easily broken. Two cords are not easily broken, but three. So you got rid of one of the laws, the wisdom. You took your wisdom and you drew away from it and you went somewhere else with it. You took your wisdom somewhere else away from what God intended it to be at. So now it's not you and her together because you mad at her, you bitter against her, you angry against her. You showed it. So now in the spirit realm, this person, that woman in which you got rid of, she walked away, and now she's in another land by herself. And any man in that spirit can get her because now you're not praying over her, you're not, you're not sending her to God, you're not You're not reading the Bible with her. You're not planting a seed with this woman. This woman is not reliable. You can't put your trust in that woman. You got things to do. So when you walking away from that woman, you putting her away to put her in that strange land and to get got by other devils and demons. So she's any man's property on that side. So that means any body, any flesh on the spirit side that you cannot see is going to be with your woman. But yet you mad at every woman, not knowing what you mad at every woman for. It's a lot of men out here that's single and think they know what they talking about. And they out here don't even understand. These women have been put away. I don't care if they're a virgin. It doesn't matter if they're a virgin or not. These women have been put away. Their mothers have been put away. Their mothers' have been put away. If you want to do anything of learning from your, uh, taking anything from your ancestors, that is, you need to see what they've done and turn away from your wicked ways because that's what they did. They taught you wickedness, and now you sitting here thinking that you know everything because of what you've seen, and you don't know a thing yet. That if you go back into the Bible, you interpret it for wisdom, you will learn that it ain't a logical thing. It could be gone into a variety of subjects because that's how the devil play. He goes into a variety of subjects with this. He will get you. He will be slick and sly and get you up in a certain way in which he think you dumb in. That's why God say that they deaf, dumb, and blind, because wherever you dumb at, he will try you to see if you will turn that way. See if you'll become that character. If he can't get you in that way, he gonna go around another way to try to get you into another character. There's many things that Satan can put you in. So back to what I was saying. Now this woman is up for grabs. And a lot of you think you know because of your ancestors. You think you know because they passed it down to you. You think you know, but you don't know. But this lady is now up for grabs. That's what you don't know. Now this woman is up for grabs, meaning the single woman, that virgin woman, she up for grabs. I don't mean marry no virgin just because she's a virgin. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that that virgin woman who getting eyesight of the wrong things that you're doing before her eyes, that virgin woman, that single woman that you got rid of, or that's just single because she think that's the right thing to do because that's what she trying to do, the opposite of what her forefathers did. That single woman, that virgin woman, that that going both ways, like in men's and women woman, that going one way, like in women woman, she's out there. This is what you caused. And this is what became that generation. You put her away. She went from you, and now she becomes another man's property. Meaning, look into that, interpret that. Now she's another man's property. So over on the spirit realm, another man, meaning another body, will become a man to her. So now she gonna have spiritual spouses all over the place. She gonna be walking with spiritual spouses, but that sound like spiritual spouses and what people say all the time, spiritual spouses. And other things that's becoming. That's gonna become witchcraft, because that's a whole body. She gonna be into another man's, meaning other things that your ancestors got off into. She's and they put bodies to those things because they worship them things and they became strong. Those strongholds became bodies. Those strongholds are bodies. So now she's another man's property. This is what you didn't see. And for you who those who haven't even wedded your wife, your woman yet, or those who think you know stuff just because you married, but yet you keep putting away your woman every time with your anger and your frustration and your just loyalty and so on and so forth. You think you know just because this been passed down from generation to generation and their laws have made you feel like this is right. No, now, since the two are not equally yoked, guess what? Y'all separated because of all the things that you built between y'all. What you built between y'all was against God. And now you building something against yourself. Because now this woman is now going to be overtaken by other company of men. And not in the flesh, because she might just be like, wow, no, in the flesh, but I'm talking about this woman now is the property of the men in the spirit. She's being overtaken by other men in the spirit. And she's not even going to be herself when she come back to you. Even if you married her or not. That's why this ain't for play. Because now this woman has been taken over in a body. And now guess what's gonna happen? What been happening for years? Men gonna blame that woman for acting crazy, for shouting at him, for yelling at him, for doing this to him, just crying for egotistical matters. And that ain't even what it is. Mm. And then it goes on to say, shall he return unto her again? Shall he return to her again? Could mean what we always think it means is that you get married, you get a divorce, and then she come back to you, and boom, she came back to you again. Okay, yeah, that's the simple uh pleasures. Yeah, we can see that. But as you interpret this and not look at this as political and logical and your opinions and facts and stuff, but as you interpret this, it's meaning a lot of different things in which the enemy can get in there and persuade you of. If you're acting a little dumb in certain areas, the enemy can come in and persuade you anything, depending on where you're dumb at. They see you're dumb in an area, they come in and persuade you in that area. And they're gonna keep coming and they're gonna keep coming at you. So interpretation says, shall he return unto her again? Meaning that we're gonna look at this spiritually, not physically. Not you divorced her and that's it. Oh no, I ain't getting married. Sister, that's no, because I don't want that type of life. No, this ain't to do with the physical life. This is spiritual stuff. So that means that shall he return unto her means that you put that woman off into that other land. She over there, she getting manipulated. So now she got spiritual spouses. She dealing with witchcraft now. She got these different things on her, these other bodies that build up and became as a body that's now a flesh. Now that's flesh deep now. Because as I said before, flesh runs deeper than you think. It's not just this. It's not this. Flesh is deep. Flesh runs deep into the spirit realm. So there are bodies that you have built up that are now known as man. Because you know why? Because they're idols that you worship. And now you have set forth another body of a man to come forth your wife, who either should have been your wife if you didn't marry her, who is your wife because you married her. And you got mad or angry and start doing different things against her, or you became something you was not supposed to become. And now you got this woman over here in the spiritual land. And guess what? She got spiritual spouses. And now it says, shall he return unto her again? Which is saying that, and yet you're going to return to her again. Of course you are. That's what they're saying. It's like it's saying that you're going to return to her again. Of course you are. But guess what? That woman that's returning to you is not going to be the same woman in which you um in which she was with the first time. It doesn't matter if she went away and she gone. No, I'm talking about her being in the same bed with you every day. And you acting a fool. You acting blind. And you acting misguided. You playing. And her being in the same bed with you every day. And you did these things before her. Now, what makes you think that she's not going to then return, meaning be there in front of your face with a whole nother different personality, a whole nother different characteristics of demons, devils, possessions of demons, possession of devils, oppressed of demons, lunatic and palsies and other things that spread it out through that. What makes you think she's not going to be of that when she turns towards you, or if you go to her and y'all broke up and you go back and you want her back? I mean, it goes for everything. That the devil will play on it all, even if she's in the same bed with you. And y'all ain't going nowhere physically, but spiritually y'all did. And that woman is not going to be the same woman in which you married or not married. And it's your girlfriend. She's not going to be the same woman. What do you expect from that woman? A lot. And you made it to where she's misguided. She's the foolishness now between y'all. And you talking about her mouth? That's all you can come up with. You can't put in the work and get rid of the iniquity. Put in the work and get started on something new, brand new. You can't put in the work. Instead, you would rather go in a sinful manner in which you keep going and coming up with this thing that's against you, that thing against you. That's egotistical ways. So now, and then it goes into, shall not that land be greatly polluted? It's saying this. It's you, as you interpret it, it's saying, now, shall that land be greatly polluted? Is this land gonna be polluted? Ain't it? It's saying like, ain't it gonna be polluted? It's polluted now. After you did all them different things that you did to her, after you have caused her distress and pain and agony, put anxiety to the situation, you thinking that she gonna come back the same? No, the more and more things you do against God towards another person, they're not going to return back the same. You're putting things bad into the atmosphere. The flesh runs deeper than what the eyes can see. This is a spiritual thing that your woman or your wife is embodying. And so now, even if you put her away, put her away. Like if you physically say, I no longer want to be with her. Now she's gonna go to some other person that's in the physical body and come with that same stupid stuff, meaning dumb stuff. She gonna still come with that same dumb stuff that she went to you with because now she embodying these things that you misguided her with, that you stirred her up with. So it's not, so look at this again. Shall not that land be greatly polluted? Yes, it will. Yes, it will be. It's going to be greatly polluted. Now, she not going to even be the same person now to you because spiritually you ain't gonna go into praying for her. You ain't gonna go into telling this woman that we need to pray, we need to read this Bible, we need to study together. You're not gonna go into all this because you somewhere else. You ain't on being equally yoked with this woman. You want something totally different with this woman. And this woman is polluted now of all these different things, all these men in the spirit. She's polluted now. She needs to be rid of those things in the spirit in which you can't see she got on her. Take that woman and pray for her now. She needs you. Take that woman and read the Bible with her. She needs you. She is now polluted of things unbeknownst to you. And what it's going to take to bring her back is you reading to her the Bible, you taking her, because that woman don't know a thing now. Stop putting your trust in that woman. That woman don't, and I don't mean this for the people who hurting to say, women don't know nothing. I'm not talking to you. Take your ego and gone now. Take your pride on and gone now. I'm talking this love in which you're going to need to love on her now. You can't say, oh, I don't know how to love. No, you need to get in position and love that woman now. Because this woman is polluted. She got stuff in her that you can't see. She walking around here sane, but she insane. Look at her body. Look at what she wearing. Number one, look at what she wearing. Look at how she trying to entice a man. Look at how she handling herself. Look how she trying to upgrade her body. She has been screwed in the spiritual realm by several other men, and this is what that polluted place has caused her to look like. And here it is, you only adding to her frustration and anger and more and stuff. by you acting a certain way. That's why you got some women, they'll be just nice to you so that they won't have to deal with your ego in a man. And they'll be just nice to you and be like, oh, you said okay. They be just pleasing you. But at the same time, put a killing to you slowly. They give you everything you want and so on and so forth because they don't want to be bothered with that stuff that you own. That anger, frustration, that hurt, that pain. They don't want to be bothered with that stuff because they paining, because they hurting. They are polluted and they need your guidance. So what do they have other than to be nice? Just so they can rid themselves of the pollutedness inside of them. And all you doing is playing into the pollution, acting up. Take that woman by that hand and say, hey, I need you to come with me. We need to pray. Can I pray with you? And if you notice your wife, you better pray with her daily. That's a daily relationship. Can I pray with you? Every time you see her, can I pray with you? Until that woman rid them things off of her. And then she go to God. Because it's going to be a difficult task, but it's going to be a win-win ultimately, especially if you know that this is your wife, that God told you this was your wife. Just say, can I pray with you? Not can I meet up with this woman and go to bed with her? Not can I meet up with this woman and cause more havoc out on her life? Not can I meet up with this woman and do egotistical things against her, prideful things against her to show her of a whole nother God that she already in possession of. Not that. But can I pray with you? And don't tell her, oh, you supposed to be my wife. No, 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 no. Can I pray with you so that this woman can open up her eyes and see if you her husband? That means she did it all of her own self. You didn't control her. You didn't manipulate her. You didn't do none of that. But it don't mean she gonna come to you. It just means that you're gonna do what you need to do as a man slowly. And that's how it's going to be. So it's not this land. This is a land this lady is living on. She is now polluted. She on a polluted land. She is not on a holy land now due to you putting her away, meaning you did some things, you said some things, you operated in some things. You can go back and read what I said about what the things are. But it goes on to say, but thou has played the harlot with many lovers. This is not to put blame on the woman like y'all been doing as y'all been putting facts and opinions into the Bible. This is saying, but you have played the harlot with many lovers, meaning that as this woman was in this polluted land, which you can't see with the physical eyes. I'm sorry for those who keep looking for stuff, thinking that, oh, I know that person's spirit. You can't see nothing with this physical eye. I know that person's spirit. No, that's not true. Stop that. You learned something that's a bad interpretation. Your wisdom is wrong. But what I'm talking about is that you went to God in prayer. You built that relationship with God in prayer. And God has told you that this lady is on polluted land. She needs you to pray for her. This lady is on polluted land. Your wife is on polluted land. She needs you to pray for her daily because she ain't all of what you think the world told you that women supposed to be like this in a certain standard like this. That's not true. That's not true. Women are as more as polluted as you are. And that pollution has landed them from many a years back to the ancestors that has played with you just as well as they played with that woman. So stop holding women up to a standard. The Lord has said that many a times to me. Stop holding women up to a certain standard. Stop it. And stop downing them. because you feel like you don't want to hold them up to a certain standard, so you just gonna hurt them, or you gonna walk all over them. No, that's still ego. You still trying to operate with your physical self. Stop using your physical self and start using that spirit of God in which God has given to you in your riches. Start using that. So let me finish this up because I'm almost done. But this is just a word of wisdom for you to understand. For you have played the harlot with many lovers, which means that now that she's over there in that land, she's not in Holy Land. There are many bodies over there. There are going to be many husbands that since you put her away, since you did all these things with this woman, and now this woman over here, and a lot of women be like, why do I keep having sexual encounters with men or intimacy with men in my dreams? They keep just coming on me. They keep just putting themselves on. This is because of the relationship that you've been in. And guess what? Men go through the same thing. So you can't say that's why women ain't supposed to have more than one husband. No, men ain't supposed to have more than one wife neither. Because guess what? If you interpret this, wife is not only for the woman, wife is for you too. Okay? If you want to be dumb, don't be dumb now, because the enemy can come and do the same thing to you as he doing with that woman. That is just a man's suit. This is just a man's suit. When you come back and you want to say them manly things that you're gonna say, this is still just a man's suit. If you want to say those manly things, this man's suit. So the same thing for her gonna go for you. And if you go from one woman to the next woman, you're still gonna understand that you're gonna go in the spirit with pollution too. And now you're going to have all these dreams of all these women coming in your body and being with you. And you're not going to be able to get this stuff off of you, because guess what? If you don't go to God, you're going to still carry on all this stuff of this polluted land in which you standing on too. Now, don't be dumb now. The spirit operates. And if you're being dumb in one area, it's going to attack you in that area. You understand? So don't think that this doesn't go for men when it say wife. It go for you too. We ain't gonna just look at this as a physical thing. We're gonna look at this spiritually now. That's why men are not supposed to be with more than one woman either. Because of the pollution of this whole situation at hand. Period. So when you read this, don't just look at it as the surface, because it can get in the spirit and do damage to all. The man's suit in general. And the other bodies is God's. It goes deep in this wisdom. So if you putting away your wife, she will play the harlot with many lovers now. And now she playing the harlot of many lovers, and these things in the spirit is overwhelming her, taking over her body. It's called an orgy now. She got many stacks on bodies, and so do you. And it's time for you to get rid of the stacks on bodies in which you think that it was okay for you to be in as well. It's time for y'all to come to each other and be equally yoked with your wife, and your wife with your husband. Because God said that y'all are one. If you want to go off on the women, you can't, because God said that y'all are one body of a man's suit. So that means now the devil gonna play in you in that area and have you doing the things in which your ancestors done now. And that's not the way you want it to be at all. Have you with four wives? Have you cheating on your wife? Have you with the mindset of doing the things in which is on your body now because your body is now polluted. Do you not think that your words was not going to take you away from the position of being a wife, even though you're a husband, of being in the wife position, meaning staying steady, because men are supposed to be putting on this character, right? Putting on this character in Jesus. You are now supposed to be in a wife position, meaning all the things that you saying a woman's supposed to do, guess what? If being in a wife, being that y'all one, man and woman, in the body of a man, you ought to do it in the way that you're supposed to do it, right? Man do man and woman do woman, but you are one. You was supposed to do this as one. Not go and yell at her for sleeping around, for doing no. You were supposed to be in your wife position too and not sleep around, do the long suffering, have things on your mind. No, get off into it. Don't get off into it. Don't go that way. Don't go this way. You're supposed to stand in your wife characteristics unto God. Unto God. And don't make a move out your bed. You were supposed to do that. But yet you didn't, you had opinions and facts about the Bible. So you didn't know that that's what that meant. So the dumb part of you, the blind part of you went in and the devil went in them areas and got your butt and made you do what your ancestors did for many years now. So now you playing the harlot and you mad at her for playing the harlot. No. Stop putting women up to a pedestal. Stop doing that. You're not to put them up to a pedestal. You are to put them up to a character in Christ, like you supposed to be coming as one body. Because when Lord look at you, when God look at you, he gonna look at you as one body, one suit. So when he say wife, he mean everybody unto him. When he say husband, he mean everybody unto him. Take your positions in the way you supposed to be at certain times. Parables are what they are. But don't be dumb. They can come. The enemy can put them in other areas too. So don't be dumb, but look into it, meaning interpret it, meaning interpretation turns into further action, which is discernment of the spirits. So have not you with many men, many stacks on bodies on top of you in this polluted land? Have you not many? Have you not played the harlot with them in the spirit realm? What makes you think you're not going to be polluted in the physical? And it goes on, yet return again to me, says the Lord. And yet you return to God with this polluted stuff. Unto me, both of you. How do you think Adam and Eve got kicked out? It wasn't, oh, I'm going to blame Eve because she ate the apple. Oh, I'm going to blame Adam because that man ain't even stand up and do nothing. Well, he didn't do anything. He didn't um build a relationship with Eve. He just let her do what she wanted to do. He didn't pray with her. He didn't read the Bible with her. He didn't, you know, not to control any woman, but I'm saying he didn't do those things to let her know that she is just a woman and Adam is just a man. He didn't do that. Instead, you got many things going off into many things in many areas of a dumb position, of a blind and a deaf position now in the physical, all the way deep to the spiritual, tapping on at you, wanting to be entering into your body and take over you. That's what you got. And you are with these many embodiments looking on at God. unto the Lord. He said, you return yet, return again to me, says the Lord. Now you with these many bodies before God, both of y'all. Oh, the woman did it. No, he did it. She did it. You with all these many bodies, because God gonna count you as one, looking on at God, blaming each other. Oh, really? Go away from me, is what God gonna tell you. Go away from me. You faithless people. Go away from me. You faithless people. So until you get it right, still gonna always be wrong. In Jesus' name. Sorry I took too long. I wasn't supposed to take that long. But wisdom can get you going. Okay. Be expecting me. I might be back today again. So with some more wisdom. We doing part 2, and we going into verse 2, doing part 2 of this Jeremiah 3. All right, we ain't done with this. We got work to do. Stay blessed and stay tuned for more. Bye for now. Salute to your soldiers. Come on back home because you're being made come back home.